Now, I want to say that this is ironic, but I won't do that because saying it's ironic, that would almost suggest that, I think this is about me or because of me. And, that's crazy. I know better than that. So I'll just say coincidentally. Yeah, that's what this is. But Nene Baby and Doug, they were the only two people that got the comment on the video I put up called Omega Variant before somebody ran to YouTube to go tell on me, and they took the video down. And this happened Tuesday night, I think. But, I had already won like 6 appeals in a row, so I guess it was about due time for a no. And this video was up for maybe 30 minutes, I think. And I believe I'm going to have to do something that I really don't want to do. But, it's been a long time coming. A lot of people can see it coming. Been talking about it, doing it, and everything. But, I'm undecided, so I'll keep quiet until I'll see if I'll do it. But what I do know, here's what I do know, is that I'll make sure that video is seen no matter what. So I'll get around to that some other time. And I'm really going to hate to have to do what I think needs to happen. Now, bear with me for about 2 minutes.
A part of that plan, of course, is to induce the gradual surrender of American sovereignty, piece by piece and step by step, to various international organizations, of which the United Nations is the outstanding but far from the only example. Here are the aims for the United States. 1. Greatly expanded government spending for every conceivable means of getting rid of ever larger sums of American money as wastefully as possible. 2. Higher and then much higher taxes. 3. An increasingly unbalanced budget despite the higher taxes. 4. Wild inflation of our currency. 5. Government controls of prices, wages, and materials, supposedly to combat inflation. 6. Greatly increased socialistic controls over every operation of our economy and every activity of our daily lives. This is to be accompanied, naturally and automatically, by a correspondingly huge increase in the size of our bureaucracy and in both the cost and reach of our domestic government. 7. Far more centralization of power in Washington and the practical elimination of our state lines. There is a many-faceted drive at work to have our state lines eventually mean no more within the nation than our county lines do now within the states. 8. The steady advance of federal aid to and control over our educational system, leading to complete federalization of our public education. 9. A constant hammering into the American consciousness of the horror of modern warfare, the beauties and the absolute necessity of peace. Peace always on communist terms, of course. And 10, the consequent willingness of the American people to allow the steps of appeasement by our government which amount to a piecemeal surrender of the rest of the free world.
Robert Welch, 1958 that was. It's unfolding right now. And it's been doing that, though. And I played that so people will understand the context of this commentary. Right, the big picture. But anyway, I get up this morning, coincidentally, and several big news channels I'm subbed to are talking about how Google, they mention YouTube specifically, and how they're cracking down on what they're calling medical misinformation. Same thing it said in the mail that I got about the video they took down. But I commented on one of these videos and somebody named Sir Dirty replied to me and informed me of a few things. So I said on the comment board on one of them news reports, I said that it won't be long before they start coming after these alternative sites as well. Then Dirty tells me that they're already doing that. And that part I already knew. As a matter of fact, about 6 months ago, I was on Beyonce's comment board telling her that because she was talking about packing her bags and going somewhere else to one of these independent sites. But Sir Dirty said that they already been doing that. And he told me that Google has been banning apps and that they own the App Store. I didn't know that. I told Dirty that, I didn't know what he was talking about, but I'll go check. And I did, and the stuff I found was real ugly. The site they called Parler was the ugliest situation. I heard, but I heard about, Parler. I heard about Parler maybe a year ago. That was, that's a site that people started, I think, when Trump got banned. And Parler had accumulated, this is what I found out, Parler had accumulated about 20 million users, which caught the attention of Google, and Google terminated their app, because they own the App Store. Now me, because I got a bit of conspiracy theory blood running through my veins, I'm supposing that in the future, they'll really, really be coming for these alternative and independent websites as well, which will include people's own personal websites if it has stuff on there that the government don't like. The comments, they'll start taking those off here. They'll start snatching them up too, in an even bigger sense than they're doing now. And these news people I heard today, one of them said that they're not only going to crack down on videos that talk about this cure for the bug, but all talk about cures. Even the ones that most of us got when we were born. You know how people have been talking about the side effects of that stuff, like autism and whatnot. They're coming for that too, they said. And what I wanted to get to is this. This is not just about the cure and the bug. This is about something I've said 1,000 times, which is that everything is connected. And even the proponents of this silencing of the people will one day, probably more sooner than later, they'll look up and see that the people, places, and things that they like will be officially deemed as some form of terrorist, or one who offends people in some way, or some place that's bad and needs to be gotten rid of. And this is what I was talking about a week or two ago, I think, when I was talking about the White House labeling people social media influencers. Influencers is the description, which is going to be one of the names that they give people that oppose this place. Right? So don't just think this is about medical stuff, or that this is just going to stay being about just medical stuff. Nah. But after Sir Dirty told me that, I went looking around and I saw that Russia is complaining about this. Now earlier that wasn't irony. This is irony right here. So Google has removed some of Russia's cure content. That's what I call it. I call it the cure and the bug for the thing itself. But Russia says that's not fair. Here's the irony. Even after Russia fined Google some months ago for failing to ban content that opposed the Russian government. Same kind of thing I was saying in Darren's chat room a few months ago. He was playing something about India's government, and India was complaining about Google censoring their country. And I said, hey, wait a minute. But the citizens of India have been over there breaking things in the street because the Indian government had been censoring their speech against the government. But I'm not going to say everything I can say, but people really refuse to see what's next. Like that dude was, the dude I saw, it was some dude on here. This is a couple of months ago. I think I put this in Darren's chat room and on that same live stream where he was playing the stuff about India too. It was a dude on here. He was so happy that they banned Newports. He was like, well, I don't smoke. That's y'all's problem. Same dude. Months later, complaining about how they're coming after the meat. And he blocked me because I informed him that the cigarette banners are of the same crowd that wants to take our meat. I'll leave with this. This dude right here, his name is Snyder the Handyman. That's his YouTube username right here. He goes by Snyder the Handyman. And he and many others, they don't been into it with the one who I call the infamous Von Helton. Now, Handyman did a video a few months ago about how he got flagged. And the crazy thing is, it was one of Von's videos that Snyder mirrored onto his own channel. More crazy. Von got flagged for that video too. And these two don't get along at all. They've been Snyder and a lot of others, they've been after Von for over 10 years. So Snyder does this anti-censorship video. And the other people who don't like Von, and there are legions of them on here that hates Von's guts, But these people are regulars on Snyder's channel. You know, they all go there to hate Von, right? So they was cheering on how Von got flagged for that video. And I said to one of them, I said, hey, dummy, did you not hear that your buddy Snyder got flagged for mirroring the video that Von did? What was the flagged video about? Medical misinformation that came out of Von's mouth. And people who got so much of a problem with other people that they can't even see.
You are next.